The American economy is super cooked. First and foremost, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Racha HaKodash. Double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the 144,000, the hopeful elect, Shalom Barakathum. And we're going to play a little bit of this video. I haven't watched it yet, but there's been a lot of news coming out about the economy and how crazy it's getting. It's about to go sideways and then go tits up, if you know that phrase. That means it's about to go belly up. It's about to be done. Okay. And you have to ask yourself as men of the Lord, as those that see spiritually, where is this leading and why is it happening? Okay. What is the world going to look like when the current economy collapses, and why is it collapsing when some of the most brilliant and smartest people in the world have access to all of this money and the means to make sure everything is fair for everybody, that people have health care, that people can feed themselves, people can have, houses that are affordable. Why isn't it going that way? Okay. As a man of the Lord, we're critical thinkers, and, we're curious about, particular things, especially if we're anchored and rooted in prophecy. Okay. So let's listen to a little bit of this. And then we'll get some precepts. Lord willing, it's edifying.
Some truth bombs on CNBC. Turning now to the economy, as we said, into where we can actually look to some truth. Unfortunately, it comes from the CEO of McDonald's, who shockingly actually dropped some truth bombs on CNBC about how divided the country is on whether you make over $100,000 or not. Let's take a listen.
Part of what we also saw was that, particularly with middle and lower income consumers, they're feeling under a lot of pressure right now. I think there's a lot of commentary about what's the state of the economy, how's it doing, and what we see is it's really kind of a two-tier economy. If you're upper income, earning over $100,000, things are good. Stock markets are near all-time highs. You're feeling quite confident about things. You're seeing international travel, all those barometers of upper income.
Salakia.
McGriddle, it costs me nothing.
Most people are either feeling quite confident about things. You're seeing international travel, all those barometers of upper income consumers are doing quite well. What we see with middle and lower income consumers is actually a different story. It's that consumers under a lot of pressure. In our industry, traffic for lower income consumers is down double digits. And it's because people are either choosing to skip a meal. So we're seeing breakfast. People are actually skipping breakfast, or they're choosing to just eat at home. And so for our business, which has a significant group of consumers which are in that middle and lower income, we needed to step in with something like what we're doing here.
Listen to the CEO of McDonald's. People are skipping breakfast. Now, I will say on McDonald's, it's still outrageously expensive compared to where it used to be. I don't eat.
Now, when McDonald's say they're expensive, that's a major telltale sign of the economy. Why? Because that's a very good indicator of disposable income, because most disposable income comes from the poor people. See, rich people, they don't spend that much money. That's how they stay rich. It's a misconception, because you see they may have a nice car, they may have a big house, some of them may even have yachts. Okay, but what you don't realize is those are not just frivolous things that they buy. Those things are investments. Esau knows exactly what an asset is worth when he buys it, and he knows what it's going to be worth next year and 5 years after that. Okay, and he can write all of these things down. He can borrow money against it. He can write these things off on taxes, and before you know it, the thing that will cost me a lot of money to shove out, he's actually benefiting from it. He's actually making money on it, and he never actually has to touch his own money, and then he snowballed it and buys it. So he's not out here blowing money. Esau's not the one with the money phone, okay, on Instagram. Okay, this is how the rich works, and it's a mindset that you have to have. So when you see people that go to McDonald's, which are not the average Edomites, okay, the rich people that got money, they're not blowing money on McDonald's every day, man. Okay, they're not. McDonald's is something that because they know what's in that food. McDonald's is not something that you buy if you have access to have a wife that can cook at home, or even hire a chef. Okay, you don't eat that unless you have to. Okay, all right. Now, some rich people eat it because they just like the taste and they're addicted to it, but that's not the majority of people. So When McDonald's starts to have problems, that's an indicator that poor people are having problems, okay? Because the majority of people that eat McDonald's are poor. So if they're skipping breakfast, what do you think that means, man? This is Isaiah 24, verse 1. I'm gonna in the NLT. It says, "Look, the Lord Yahweh is about to destroy the earth and make it a vast wasteland. He devastates the surface of the earth and scatters the people." Okay, that's what the Lord is getting ready to do, man. We're about to turn the earth into Borderlands 4, man. Okay, you ever played that game? It's about to turn into Fallout out here. Okay, and you're all gonna rebuild it. Okay, all of you heathen, because you made up this monopoly money and bought into it and are trading assets that ain't even real. Okay, you did all of this. Okay, so we're gonna reset this motherfucker. Okay, excuse my French. Okay, that's what the Lord's getting ready to do. All of this economy, this guy's rich. That's gonna be all over with. When we get into rulership, we ain't even gonna have to worry about money. We're gonna get the earth back to the standard of where it should be. Okay, things are gonna be actually fruitful again. Okay. It says, verse 2, priests and lay people, servants and masters, maids and mistresses, buyers and sellers, lenders and borrowers, bankers and debtors, none will be spared. So all of you people all gotta go away, because the whole economy is wicked. The niggas in McDonald's selling you the food is wicked. Y'all that buying it is wicked, because y'all know it's in it. And one part of the reason why they can continue to raise the price is because some of y'all can't stop eating fast food, man. I get it. It's got addictive chemicals in it. You got to rebuke that, brothers, especially if brother has something to drink, they put that in there to do it. But ultimately, it's the fault of the consumer that you go back and back and back. Okay. If they charge you, if the Big Mac goes up from $4.50, okay, to $5, and then you continue to buy the same amount of Big Macs, well, guess what they're going to do? They're going to raise it from $5 to $5.50. And then $5.50 to $6 to $7 to $8. The next thing you know, a Big Mac is $10. Why? Because if they can sell 1,000 Big Macs, okay, at $10, okay, at the same price they would at $4, why would they sell it at $4? They're still gonna sell 1,000 Big Macs because y'all gonna buy it no matter what. Okay, that's part of the reason. That's part of the problem here. Okay, so does the scriptures say the bankers and the debtors, the lenders and the borrowers, the buyers and the sellers? Okay, it's just one big farm. It's a circle jerk, man. Okay, and Jake don't realize this until it all crashes and crumbles. All right, play some more.
Eat McDonald's maybe more than 2 or 3 times a year. My wife gets hungry for it. She's nursing, whatever. She gets what she wants. So I go to McDonald's. The McGriddle, it cost me $9. And I tweeted about that. People made fun of me because apparently I don't use the app. No, I'm not degenerate enough to have the McDonald's app or to be knowledgeable enough about set deals. But in my head, as a child of the 90s, you're on a road trip and you roll up to McDonald's. How much do you think that should cost? A couple bucks? $1.99? And yet, it's not just the price. What he really said there, which is important, is if you look, he said below 100,000, you're seeing a massive reduction in lower income consumers being able to go out to eat, and people are skipping breakfast. Now, I think that's hopefully they're getting enough to eat, elsewhere, and or trying to eat at home. But the totality of it is that, yeah, it might be marginally cheaper on a percent.
Yeah, but it's gonna get to where they won't have nothing at home. They will literally not be going to McDonald's because they literally, don't have it, okay, at all. They won't be able to buy groceries or anything, because now what they're not talking about is now groceries are starting to catch up with McDonald's now. And McDonald's is expensive as hell right now. McDonald's used to be the reason that it had such a big demographic and the poor, among the poor demographic, is because of how cheap it was. Now it's just as expensive as going to Chili's, man. Okay, you better off going to Chili's and get one of them, what you call it, a 2 for $20 or whatever you call it there. Okay, because you can easily go to McDonald's now and spend $15, $16, and it ain't nowhere near the quality. Now it's not that Chili's and Applebee's is great quality, but it's way better than McDonald's. Okay, and so if you spending $15, $16 at McDonald's anyway, you see, the whole thing is merging together. Okay. Anyway, what was I gonna continue reading Isaiah 24. It says, verse 3, it says the earth will be completely emptied and looted. the Lord Yahweh has spoken. The earth mourns and dries up, and this is what we're having. Y'all about to be in mourning, okay? There's about to be famines going on out here, okay? Ask yourself how there's going to be a famine in America, the fattest country in the world that has all of this food, but it ain't really food. It's processed food, and it's all centralized, and it's all trucked in, okay? And it's all bottlenecked into vast food companies like Tyson Foods, U.S. Foods, okay? If Tyson Foods go under, the amount of chicken wings is gonna be through the roof, okay? Because they're encroaching on these monopoly status, okay? Monopoly meaning there's only one person in the market that has it to offer, okay? And that's what these big companies are. Monsanto, they got the monopoly, not monopoly, but they're close to a monopoly on produce, okay? Fruit and vegetables, okay? And that's why you can't go to a grocery store. You basically can't even find non-GMO produce, okay? And if you do find it, they tag it as organic, and then they mark the price up, okay? So they're charging you for the things you're supposed to get anyway, okay? While they raise the price on both. They raise the price on a GMO apple and an organic apple, okay? And so this is what the Lord is talking about, man. Okay, this thing is drying up. The health of people about to fail. And what nobody's talking about, I realized recently that a lot of these hospitals, if you call them, they have a waiting list, long waiting list, man. You can't even see a doctor for months out, especially out in the area where I'm at right now in Kansas City. Okay. So what's gonna happen, man? You know, when the health problems become worse because people are eating more and more processed foods and there's less and less medical service available. Okay. It says, even the greatest people on the earth waste away. The earth suffers for the sins of its people. Okay. For they have twisted the Most High's instructions, violated his laws, and broken his everlasting covenant. He doesn't respect the land Sabbath. He doesn't respect the clean and unclean animals and things that you're supposed to eat, because the unclean animals are unclean for a reason. That means they have a purpose in the ecosystem, okay? You're supposed to be farming lobsters and shrimp out of the ocean by the millions and billions, okay? All right? He doesn't respect any of these things. So what do you have? Health issues, okay? You have the wicked ruling over all of it, man. This nigga done turned the drinking water in the river brown so he can charge you for bottled water and Quick Trip, man. Okay? This is what we have going on, okay? So, let me play some more of this. I haven't watched this video. I'm gonna just play a few more minutes.
Eat at home, but it's still really expensive to eat at home. If you're talking about a cup of coffee, we talked here about coffee futures, Folgers, and more, has actually exploded in price. Even if you look at the basic necessities of goods, meat in particular, protein, the price is just astounding. You can still eat cheap if you want to, but it takes a lot more effort than it used to in the past. So if you put that together, I think here is where you should listen to the CEO of McDonald's or the CEO of Walmart or these other people who have to cater to all of these customers. And now McDonald's is scrambling to try and bring back, below $5 meals and more, because they can see the consumer cannot afford it. Yeah. That's the real trend.
They shouldn't have fucking raised it to begin with, man. See, they exploiting you, man. They're just squeezing money out of people. They know that shit wouldn't work that much, man. Okay? They're charging you a premium price on things that will destroy you. Okay? That's why the Lord got to come back and just start putting people down, man. Okay? Like the Elder Matthias said in Chicago, it's going to be get down or lay down. Okay? That's how the Lord is coming, because this is the wicked rulership ruling over us doing this shit, man. Okay? You got people spending 30-40% of their income on food, man, because they make that little and they're charging that much for food, man. Okay? And then the other 60% is going straight to rent. And you wonder why you can't escape the paycheck to paycheck cycle, man. Okay? That's how you know the economy is cooked, because when people stop spending money on fast food, that means they don't have a lot of money for anything else, man. Okay? They're definitely not. The vacation and tourism is going to be down. Okay. Las Vegas is already crying because people ain't visiting Vegas no more like that. Okay. Miami, all of these cities, parts of LA, wherever you have a lot of tourists, Hawaii, they're all going to take a big hit because people are not picking up and dropping money on vacations when everything is this tight. And if they're not buying fast food, you know they ain't going on vacation, okay? That's a wrap. And eventually, this is not just it's not gonna be a dry up in the economy. It's gonna get bad to where crime is gonna start going up. Okay, people are gonna start stealing more, and then when stealing flourishes, violence is gonna come right behind it. Okay, they basically go hand in hand. Really, stealing is a form of violence. All right.
Yeah, I mean, down double digits, he says, traffic from lower income consumers. I mean, that is a very significant sign. And it's not just that the prices are high, it's also that the wages are not keeping up. We covered previously, I mean, I think the two-tier economy comment is the perfect way to think about it. You've got the stock market that just keeps going up and up and up, seemingly totally divorced. And we'll talk more about what's going on there from the actual real economy, what people deal with trying to make ends meet on a day-to-day basis. And meanwhile, especially lower quintile wages are not keeping pace with inflation. So people are struggling. They're going into deeper and deeper debt.
Part of the inflation is McDonald's raising the price on a Big Mac. They've been making a Big Mac for 70 goddamn years, man. Okay? It should be way cheaper for them to make it, but they keep raising the price on it. And nobody's getting pay raises like that. So that's part of why the inflation is going up. Because companies like McDonald's will just raise the price and raise the price. Because what they do is they get you to be addicted to it. So they get you to figure it out. Okay? You don't have the money to afford the Big Mac at this price. Well, we know you're addicted to it, so we know you'll figure it out. Just like a crackhead, he'll find a way to get the money. Okay? And that's what you people are. You're crackheads. You're addicts to this processed food. Okay? This is why credit card debt is going up. You don't even realize your credit card debt is up because you have an addiction problem, okay? You're addicted to these phones. A lot of people are buying bullshit off of Instagram and Facebook because they look cute. Then they get it and they're like, I don't need this, and they never wear it. All of this is part of the sickness going on here, the covering cast, okay? And you can't escape it. This is Haggai chapter 1, verse 3. Then the word of the Lord Yahweh by Haggai the prophet saying, then came the word of the Lord Yahweh by Haggai the prophet saying, is it time for you, O ye, to dwell in your sealed houses? Okay. And this house lie waste. Okay. And those goes into the very high ceiling houses, man. These lofty rich folks. Okay. And while everybody else dies off, like they said, there's two economies. The one with the stock market, if you own a lot of stock right now, you're winning. Okay. But 90% of people don't even participate in the stock market, let alone are up. Okay. So it's two different economies. All right. And it says, now therefore, verse 5, now therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh of hosts, consider your ways. Ye have sown much and bring in little. Ye eat, but have not enough. All right. That's what it is, man. Okay. When you eat, how do you eat, but you don't have enough? You're going into debt, man. That's slavery. Okay. And there's a whole slew of issues why the Lord's got a problem with America and he's going to destroy off the face of the earth. Okay. This is just one small one. All right. It says, ye drink, but ye are not filled with drink. Ye clothe you, but there is none warm. And he that earneth wages to put it into a bag with holes. Okay. You see? That's what this is. And you're about to find out that bag of holes is gonna become deadly. Okay. Being poor in America will become a death sentence. Okay. The scriptures explicitly have law against this. Okay. If your brother is poor and he had his hand out, you're supposed to give him something, man. There's supposed to be things set up for the poor. That's a law. You're not allowed to let your brother, your fellow people, okay, just starve out on the street, man. Okay, not have a place to stay, no clothes, okay? That's wicked as hell to have a society set up where it's every man for himself, and then if you lose, you die, okay? Because that's exactly what's going on. A lot of people are in the spirit world because of how much they charge for medical procedures, man. You get in one accident, your ass is filing for bankruptcy. Okay? Because that's how much it costs to get medical treatment here. Okay? You know how many people are in the spirit world because United Healthcare denied the claim for insurance? They paid insurance and they denied it. Okay, and now they're in the spirit world now because they literally couldn't afford it. You're not supposed to be dead because you can't afford something. Okay, and that's what America is. But it's all shiny and polished on the outside. But when you look inside, it's like a rancid, dead rat. Okay, it's filthy. Anyway, I'm going to end it there. Lord willing, this is edifying. Call halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Ba'ashim Rachak Shalom. Kwam Yasharallah.